When our units arrived here at the scene, they discovered that a 15 by 50 foot section of the roof had collapsed on building 1. The structural integrity of the building, of course, cannot be guaranteed, so command immediately took the precautionary route and evacuated the entire building. Now, that being said, the good news is there are no injuries to report. Now, with that in mind, where are we at this point? Well, at this point, what we're actually doing is, number one, we're shoring up the remnants so that any additional work that needs to be performed can be performed in a safe environment. In addition to that, number two, we need to remove these roof shingles, which takes me to what the possible, and I stress this, possible cause, we don't know that yet. And when I say possible cause, that is because today re-roofing work was being performed on this particular building, and it began with the actual delivery of shingles that were placed on the roof. And there's a hypothesis that's sort of floating around about how maybe the weather from Faye, coupled with the shingles and the weight being placed on a soaked roof, led to this possible roof collapse. But again, that's premature and highly speculative, but some people have insisted on wanting to know what possible causation there could be. There's a possible answer, but I stress again that is not definitive. We have to get these shingles off of the roof before we can go on and perform any additional work that the firefighters need to do to go through each and every nook and cranny one more time to make sure that in particular no pets might still be in there. And that's very important to stress because since our arrival we have removed several pets from these units. Individuals have arrived here at the scene stating that of course they were at work, their pets were left in the condominium, and so please help to get them out.
I just sitting in the apartment, and all of a sudden felt the building shake and just come running out, and really don't know too much else yet, but they won't let us go back in until the engineer comes in and figures out if we can go back in or not. So yeah, it was a big rumbling sound, and like I said, it shook the building. I knew they were working out here. I thought maybe something just fell off the roof or something at first, and I come walking out, and it was somebody said no, the building collapsed, the roof collapsed rather, not the building, but the roof collapsed. So.
Well, what we've done is we've gathered the residents, and what we're talking to them about is we're waiting for the structural engineer to come. Once that decision is made, we will work with the residents. If it's totally closed down for right now, we will help the property management, help the residents find places to live, food, etc. If there's a partial way they can get back in, if some of the apartments are safe, we'll also work with the residents who can't go back in. We support emergency management and fire rescue.
With that in mind, as I'm sure you can imagine, this is going to become an extremely laborious, manpower-intensive evolution. Like I said, we not only have to shore, we have to assist in getting those shingles off of the roof before we can begin any additional activity. Like I said also, the building has just not been deemed structurally sound enough yet for the firefighters to go more in depth.